Welcome to U Talk. I'm Megan Demolina, school counselor at Noble Middle School. Our show is all about the middle school student, testing, bullying, dating, stress, and so much more. We discuss it all. Joining me each month is a dynamic and engaging panel of middle school students ready to discuss the issues and tackle the tough questions. We kick off our show with some Q&A, featuring questions on a variety of topics from middle schools throughout the school system that our panel of students are ready to answer. No question is too tough, no topic is too difficult. All right, panelists, here's our first question. I'm having big issues with my self-esteem. I'm kind of confused about a few things. When I look in the mirror or at photos, I think I look ugly. Well, I am ugly, but so many people have randomly said how stunning I am when obviously I'm not. Why do I look so different in the mirror and in photos if I generally am pretty? This is a tough one. What do you all suggest for middle school students struggling with their self-esteem?
I feel like no one is ugly. Ugly is a very harsh word. No one is ugly. Some people feel like they are ugly, but I feel like it's what is inside that counts. And if people are calling you pretty, oh, that's a great compliment. And if people are calling you ugly, I would just look past that, because you are your own person, and I would never let that get to me. If somebody's calling me ugly, okay, well, good for you, you're missing out. I don't have to talk to you anymore because you don't like me.
Right, absolutely.
And also, when you're looking at yourself, you're going to pick out things that are not going to be perfect. Mm-hmm. So when other people see, overall, you're pretty, and so that's what you got to look at.
I mean, usually, life is not really perfect, but you try to want to make the most of what you are, and you're trying to use that time to make the most of it.
Like Macy said, you got to give yourself some credit. You got to, you got to accept those compliments and say thank you. Don't say, no, you're wrong. I'm awful. I'm ugly. Especially when you look at yourself in pictures or in the mirror, you're going to find those really little details that you may not, you're like, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had this. But you got to step back and give yourself some credit for who you are.
Yeah, sure. Nobody's perfect. If you think that you're ugly, you're pointing out things that you see because you look at yourself the most. Every single day you look at yourself in the mirror, and so you're picking out the things that you see that some people regularly don't see when they just glance at you. If you have a pimple or something, nobody's going to notice that if they just glance at you really quick. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, everyone has their differences.
Exactly.
And that's what makes everyone special.
That's what makes everyone unique.
Yeah, unique.
And you've touched on a lot of really important points, and I've heard in life and I've seen in life, especially as a counselor, how we as individuals are our worst critic. We're always looking at ourselves under the microscope where other people pass us by, and really what's the heart of the matter is to really have that inner beauty and that inner confidence that you can take on any comment or any critic out there, especially nurturing our own self along the way. But thanks for talking about that. Great advice, and really inspirational to a lot of middle school students who are struggling with just how to develop that self-esteem and how to feel good and set boundaries, personal boundaries, to let things go and let things roll off, especially this day and age with selfies and posting everything in every angle and whatnot. But
and it is a tough topic to discuss about.
Sure, because I think it's a critical age where that is developing, and that is definitely getting more attention than maybe grades, because I think middle school students are worried about their looks and how they appear to others, and really what matters is you loving yourself first and being true to yourself.
There can only be that one person that comments on everyone.
Sure.
Where I know some people in the morning, they'll take 30 minutes to get dressed because they're like, oh no, if I wear this, they're gonna say, oh, you're a bandwagon, or no, that doesn't look good, or they have so much anxiety about how they look and stuff because of those that one group of kids that always comment on people.
And everybody wants to have like the cool hat, the cool shirt, the cool pants, the cool shoes.
Right,
to,
everything
just to
matching.
fit in into the school.
When it's really
and
not
be.
them.
There's this whole look that you have to like not pursue, but you have to like be this look for people to like you now, which is very sad. Like you should be yourself and like, and if you don't wear the same clothes as somebody, that doesn't mean that you're lower than them, or that doesn't mean that you don't fit in. Like everyone has to like be nice to each other for us to get somewhere in the world. Like if everybody doesn't like somebody just because they wear different clothes or they look different than somebody, like that's not very humane. Like it doesn't,
Right, it ties into our kindness and compassion campaigns throughout our school and throughout other middle schools in our county and in our state and in our nation and our world. You know, we really do need to give more kind compliments. I like what you said earlier about when someone does give you a compliment, say thank you. You know, a lot of times we're not really trained on how to handle that attention. And it's really important to say thank you and then give a positive compliment back to someone.
Right. Totally.
And try to leave the negative ones out or be a leader. And if someone is saying something negative, tell them to, you know, stop and change the subject, right? Here's another question that we have before our time is up here. Here we go. Next year, I'm going to a different school than my friends. I want to stay in touch with them, but I don't know how. Help. This is going to be a hard transition. Next year, some of us stay on and stay and remain, and some of us move away, or some of us go off to high school. So what advice do you have for middle school students who are in transition? Macy.
I suggest, you know, there's always going to be more people. There's a lot more fish in the sea, and you're just going to find
there's a lot of options, a lot of people to meet, right?
There's not just one person.
Sure.
Yeah. And this happened like not in middle school, but this happened for my elementary school. It was like me and two other people, and we were going to Noble, and all my other friends were going to different schools. And I was really worried because like I had known these people for like 6 years, and like I'm just gonna leave them. Like I knew I was gonna see them in high school, but like 6 years is or like 3 years or whatever, that's a really long time to like not see somebody. So what I would do is I always keep in touch with them, like either through like Instagram or just texting them, calling them, and just like if they don't have a phone, get their parents' number, and just if you want to hang out with them, just text their parents and be like, hey, I'm really missing them. Like, is there any chance that we could get together sometime so like we can see each other and we can kind of just catch up?
Right, and there's not like a wall in between schools, so just because you guys don't go to the same school doesn't mean you guys can't hang out of school.
Yeah,
So,
and even if your schools are arch rivals, like you can still talk to each other.
That's right.
Yeah, I totally agree, but it also is, it's a hard, like, I moved here from Maryland, and when I went back on like a visit or something and I saw all my old friends, it was kind of hard because it was like, they don't know any of the people here, so I can't really like say, oh yeah, I have this friend, we did this, like they don't know who it is. And they're talking about all these new friends who I don't know who it is. So it's like kind of like two worlds kind of trying to mix together. So it's hard, but there's definitely ways to keep in touch by like calling, texting, and like visiting people that you like.
Then usually I am supposed to be districted for Hoggard, and what it is that all of my friends that I know are going to either Laney or New Hanover, and it's going to be tough because then I would have to find someone else to be friends with, and that's pretty hard. But to keep in touch is kind of hard. But I do know a way. If they have a phone or something, or a way you can contact them, take that option, and then see if they're available over the weekend. You could do something fun over that period of time.
Yeah, modern technology definitely plays a role in keeping in touch, because if like we didn't have like cell phones and stuff that you could just carry around, or Instagram like you said, or other apps, it's going to be harder to communicate with people.
I was thinking the same thing, that this is actually a good use of technology and having the social media and all the texting features, the chat rooms and whatnot, that you can keep in touch with people near and far.
Yeah, like for like spring break and stuff, all my friends from like Noble, they were like going places, like they were going to the Bahamas or wherever, and like all my friends from my other schools, they weren't doing anything, so I kind of took spring break as a time to hang out with my friends that don't go to Noble, that I don't see very often, because then like I can hang out with them for like a week, and then I feel like I really like saw them for a long period of time. Yeah.
Well, and you all have heard the expression, make new friends, but keep the old. One is silver and one is gold.
Yeah.
So that's an important one to remember always in life. That wraps up U-Talk Q&A. Now coming up in our next segment, my co-host Paige Turner is joined by a very special guest. For 16 of his 20 years with New Hanover County Schools, Aaron Oliver has been working behind the scenes to help us make U-Talk happen each month. When we return, he'll join us to answer questions from our panel about his career and how U-Talk came to be. Don't go away.
Start your day with New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show. This Rise and Shine program will put a smile on your face and a spring in your step. Best of all, you'll start the day a little smarter. The Morning Show features an exciting 6-hour mix of exclusive features, cooking, entertainment, news, science, math, and more. New Hanover County Schools, The Morning Show, educating all viewers to achieve today and tomorrow in a global community. Only on this channel.
Welcome back to U-Talk. I'm Paige Turner, school counselor at Noble Middle School. I have been working in one capacity or another with U-Talk since its inception. At the center of the creation of the program has been the school system's video coordinator, Aaron Oliver. Since he is retiring this month, we thought it would be a great idea for him to answer some questions from the panel about his career, how he came up with the idea for U-Talk, and his plans for the future. Welcome, Aaron, to the set of U-Talk.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you for being on this side of the camera.
Yes, it feels very strange,
bet.
but here I am.
I bet. Thank you. Well, we wanted to ask you some questions.
Okay.
Curious minds want to know about career and U-Talk. So, Charlotte, do you have our first question?
I do. What got you interested in the field of TV?
Well, I think I have to blame my parents. The TV was always on when I was growing up. TV was very new when I was a kid, and so I always consider myself part of the original TV generation. And so being in television seemed natural. I was also very interested in theater and drama in high school and plays through college, and so this seemed like a natural field to be in.
So how long have you been working in this field?
Wow, that's a good question. Let's see, I've been with this school system for 20 years, and prior to that I worked in both broadcast and cable television for another 20, so a total of 40 years.
Wow. Amazing. So what sort of education do you have to work in this field?
Well, when I first decided I wanted to be in television, I didn't know either what I needed to study and where I needed to go. Most people were focused on film in those days, and a lot of early television was shot the same way film is shot. But I ended up at the University of North Carolina at Wilmington, right here in town, and they were just starting a communications studies program in mass media. And so I went ahead and enrolled in that program. When I enrolled in that program at the time, they had huge ambitions to have a TV studio on campus. The best we ever got was radio. They do have a TV studio now, but I enrolled in that program and studied in mass media, learned how to write and write copy for TV commercials and scripts and understand the background information rather than the technical information of television.
Well, what recommendations do you have for students interested in this career field?
Well, today there's tons of choices. I mean, there's so many schools that offer video production and TV production and journalism as an option. One school that a lot of students like to go to is called Full Sail. It's in Florida. It's a very high concentrated program. The thing about it is you go to school every single day. You only get Thanksgiving and Christmas off. But when you graduate in a year and a half, you're ready to go. Now, for those who want to take their time, there are other schools. UNC Wilmington now has a full TV studio and program. Chapel Hill has a full TV studio and program. Elon, which is a private college here in the state, has a marvelous TV production facility. And there are a few community colleges in the state that are offering TV production as well.
Cool. Sorry.
Did you ever think about being a film director?
No. I've always been interested in TV, and the few times that I have been on film sets, they move way too slow for me. In TV production, you turn around stuff pretty quickly. I worked in a business where we were doing at least 3 to 10 commercials a week. Most film companies will do 3 minutes a day when they make a film. And so the sets that I'd been on, it just too much sitting around for me. I like to make it happen.
So, how did UTalk originally start?
Well, UTalk originally started, and I had a chance to preview the questions ahead of time, and I can't honestly remember the name of the show that actually launched this program. We had another gentleman that used to work with the school system. He had written a book that a lot of counselors in the county were using, and we started a show with both middle schoolers and high schoolers on it that he hosted, and he used sort of the themes that he had written in the book for the show. It lasted just a couple of years, and I didn't want to let it go. And oddly enough, at the time, I think it was, I can't remember who the counselor was then. It wasn't. I know we've had several who've hosted the show, and we decided we would go ahead and launch the show then and keep it going, and we renamed it UTalk.
So how did you actually come up with the name UTalk?
Well, I'm going to give away a big secret here. I don't want this to ruin it for anybody, okay?
Okay.
I actually stole the title of the show from the University of Miami. They had a program called University Talk. But I thought, hey, UTalk, which I wanted you all to do the talking, would be a good name for the show.
Wow.
How has the UTalk show changed over the years?
Well, when we began, we were rotating the students from all the middle schools to come on the show. And so there was always a variety of students from every middle school in the county who would come in. We had different sets. There were chairs in the beginning. Everybody just sat in a chair on the floor in front of a curtain with some light on it. We eventually built sets. Eventually started centering in on one school as the primary panelist. And then we evolved it to where everybody comes from Noble.
What are some of your most memorable moments in the studio?
Oh wow, we've had a lot. I mean a lot. For this show, I think it hasn't been that long ago, we had Santa Claus in here.
Yes,
Oh, wow.
We've had Santa Claus in here. We've done cooking segments where we've set things on fire. And we've had falcons in here. We had a falcon right in here one time. And so it's been a lot of fun stuff. A lot of fun stuff.
Yeah. So what are your plans for the future?
That's a good question. I'm just going to relax for a while, watch old-time TV, do a little bit of reading, and then my wife and I will probably do some traveling. We're moving closer to where our daughter lives, and so that will be the focus of some of our life as well.
Well, thank you so much for all you've
No,
done.
thank you all. It's been a blast. It's been a blast.
It's been wonderful, wonderful. You'll surely be missed. And thank you, panelists. Now, don't go away. When we return, we talk about the end of the school year and our summer plans.
Good job. Yeah.
Your company can join these local businesses in offering students with disabilities the much-needed experience to compete in today's job market. For young people with disabilities, participating in mentoring programs, job shadowing, and internships are great ways to make them stand out among other job applicants. If your company would like to add a student intern, then contact the Special Education Department now at 910-254-4445.
Welcome back to U-Talk. This is the last show of the school year and has been tradition for our panel to discuss the end of the school year and some of their plans for the summer. Okay, panelists, what is one thing that you are most looking forward to and one thing that you are dreading at the end of the school year?
One thing that I'm looking forward to, I have two things. So, my family, we get season passes to Myrtle Waves every year, so we can go whenever we want when it's open. And then my friend said that her family might be going to the Bahamas, and they might be able to bring me, so I might be going to the Bahamas.
What a nice experience and opportunity for you. Take me with you.
I'm excited because I really want to go to Junk Rabbits because last year I went to their water park and it was so fun.
Yeah.
I've heard that's a fun time. Absolutely. How about you guys? What are you looking forward to?
I am looking forward to. I'm looking forward to a cruise in August, and I'm going on the Mediterranean Sea. So it'll be really fun.
Wow, that's awesome. Great
So,
traveling.
My family, we're Disney fanatics, so
Yes.
we have my brother's going down to Florida for a basketball tournament.
Cool.
And while we're down there, we're gonna spend some time in Disney World, and the last time we went there was probably I think 2 years ago. So like it's kind of an annual thing. So.
Yeah, I love traditions.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Kind of have new opportunities and adventures that await some of you and most of you, and we have some that return to our old stomping grounds or our favorite hangouts, right?
One thing I'm dreading is going back to school.
Oh, in the fall, like
Yeah,
after summer's
like
over.
after summer's over.
Tell me more about that.
I feel like this summer, like the last summer, went by so fast. I feel like it was like a week of summer and then it was just over. So I'm really hoping that this summer is longer and that I don't have to go back to school as quick.
It'll be a rough transition, but once you get back into the swing of things, everyone seems to be ready by that time.
Yeah.
I'm dreading it because my mom, she works at a year-round school, so she's
Different
gonna be
schedules,
working
yeah.
in summer. So my dad works in the summer too, so it's gonna be a little boring.
So you'll have to come up with some things
Yeah.
to do, right? Reading, practice your writing, practice your math, right?
Yeah.
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Maybe do some babysitting. Have you thought about small jobs?
I have
or?
once.
Yeah, I have to babysit my little brother all the time.
Yep.
He's about to be 2 months, like next week. So
Good practice,
I
good
have to,
experience. and-
babysit him the whole summer.
Sure.
So.
How about you guys? Are you going away for any camps, or are you working? Or are you
Well-
doing other than traveling?
Yeah, well, what I'm dreading to do is actually to go on doing like a boating camp or fishing
Okay.
camp and like try to do more of the stuff in this area because like Maryland, there's no really fishers or like no people that went fishing and stuff. So yeah, and I'm pretty much this summer just gonna explore
Great.
and learn the sites and stuff. Yeah.
Just get familiar with
Yeah.
our backyard.
Yeah,
We live in
right.
a very amazing place that a lot of people
yeah, we're
consider their favorite destination.
We're super happy to be close to the beach and stuff.
Sure.
That's like super cool to us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
my parents always say, like, during the summers, like, who gave away the secret? Because, like, everyone wants to come here now.
Yeah.
And it's, like, kind of cool that we live in a place where so many people want to come and that there's so many things to do and to just, you can just go to the beach whenever you want and just walk around with your friends. It's, like,
Absolutely.
it's pretty cool.
No, I'm kind of like dreading the end of grade testing because that
he
is
said the T word, testing.
yeah, so it's kind of a pain to do all of it, especially at the end of the year when you know, like, I want to get out of school like right now, but you still have to take it.
Yeah.
And it's going to plan you for the future. So I say, please do good on it. And
What
make
are
sure
your
you study.
strategies, by the way? What tips do you have for that dreadful testing window that's coming up upon us?
So I usually go to bed probably an hour earlier than I usually do, just to get some rest.
Good
and
idea.
Eat kind of like a well-balanced breakfast, and make sure I'm kind of like in the mood for when I'm test taking. So
Sure.
I'll try to get in those habits later.
Kind of get mentally geared up for it and physically rested, and this is really your time to shine too, right? And you show what you know, all those little cliches, it really is true.
One of my test taking strategies is like, I always like, it's kind of this like tradition for my family. Whenever we have a tournament or testing, we always eat like pasta the day before, so we have like good energy and stuff. And then I always tell myself when I'm taking the test, I just got one question done. Okay, that's one question to the end. That's one question closer to the end. You're almost done. After this, you just sit around and watch movies and eat. Like,
there you go.
You got this.
There's your reward. Right?
Yeah, it's just kind of counting down to the end, and you make sure you're focused. Don't get off, like offhanded or whatever. Just kind of focus, and then you'll be done faster.
Well, I wish all of you the best of luck on your tests coming up, and safe travels over the summer for sure. Well, that wraps up our program this month. I'm Megan Demolina on behalf of my co-host Paige Turner and the entire UTalk panel. Thanks for watching. We hope you'll submit questions to our show and tune in again next school year for all new episodes of UTalk. Come on, celebrate!